Fish on. It's a beautiful day in South Mississippi. We are heading out of the Pascagoula Point Park. Going to be chasing after sheepshead today in the old kayak. It's a Hobie PA-14. It's old school, but hopefully it gets on the fish today. So we'll see you out there. All right, we are heading out. It is an absolute beautiful day here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. It is Wednesday before Thanksgiving. I could tell you what I'm thankful for. You know, like most people, very thankful for my family, thankful for my faith, very thankful for this God giving me the opportunity to live down here and take part of this amazing ecosystem. I'm gonna hop around this bank over here and hopefully maybe we can get on some flounder real fast before getting into sheepshead. And this is a Daiwa BG 3000 series on an old Shimano rod. Sheepshead, that's what we're actually targeting today. I don't think they really like a ton of movement in the water. Some people probably will disagree, but that's okay. I've always had kind of luck on slack tides, or, you know, right in the middle of that transition. All right, fish on. All right, a little flounder here. Of course, not nearly big enough, so I got choked it. See, these things are notorious for jumping out of your hand, but this is southern flounder. He is pretty close. It's actually 12 inches. Huh. All right. So these flounders really love hanging around points in any place with lots of current, because they're ambush predators. But you know, much differently than speckled trout and redfish, flounder just sit on the bottom and they wait for their prey to come over, swimming over the top of them. They got another flounder right there. Anyway, they wait for their bait to swim over the top of them, and then they kind of charge upwards. And grab them. I don't know if that was another flounder, but something, as you can see here, took my tail here. A pearl with a chartreuse tail. It's hard to go wrong with chartreuse and white. They're really effective year-round. All right. Another fish on. You can see another flounder. And I'm just at Pascagoula Point Park here. I'm gonna measure this fella. Another 12-incher. Pascagoula Point Park. So this is not secretive. And with flounder, you almost feel like you're hung. You feel like your bait is snagged on something, and this is, you know, with all this rubbish in the water, you really don't know if you're hung on rocks or you actually got a fish. So you give it like a, right, give it like a half second for that fish to potentially you know, somewhat swallow it, and then you set the hook pretty hard. You can see that's the Ingalls Shipbuilding. Here we go. Here we go. No. Ingalls Shipbuilding. They build destroyers, light landing craft for the Navy. They also build Coast Guard cutters, of course, for the Coast Guard. So if you need a job, I think they employ upwards of 13,000 people. So they're always looking for people. So if you have some good use of your hands, need a place to relocate, like I said, like I mentioned many times, this is an amazing place to live. So it's a great opportunity if you know a trade to come down here and take part of this amazing environment. Oh, just like that hung. Dang it. Like I mentioned before, you either got a fish or you got rubble. All right, we're gonna go after sheepshead now. That was her initial intention. So we're gonna put this up. We're gonna head to our spot and see if we can get on some sheepshead. Now with sheepshead, you really want to find vertical structure. And not only do you want to find vertical structure, do you want to find structure that has some type of crustacean on it, whether it's oysters or barnacles, and you want to scrape that stuff off, and that'll create kind of a chum for those sheepshead to kind of get furied up, and then you can drop some bait down. We have probably 24 fiddler crabs, so not a ton, but hopefully we can catch 2 or 3 keepers off of it. We'll see. So this is a barnacle scraper that I made, and you can see some fish down there already chewing on it. With fiddler crabs, you just go underneath and just go out the bottom and come through the top. And I'm using birds of prey jig head. What happens when you're not ready. And you just grabbed it again, dang it. And they're soft eaters, so almost as soon as you feel that bite, you got to set the hook. Fish on. Oh, big boy. Look at that beauty. That's a slab. I'm not going to attempt to put it on a ruler, but I would imagine that's probably a 20-inch sheepshead. Sheepshead, once again, just amazing creature. They feed on barnacles, they feed on oysters, they feed on shrimp, any type of crustaceans, honestly. But truly blessed, God. Thank you. All right, coming back around. Guarantee I have lost, I don't know, half a dozen so far, and just got one to show, but it was a big one. It was a big one. Sheepshead only have to be 14 in the state of Mississippi to be legal. This one probably is not illegal, but we'll put him on the board just to make sure, if I can get my stuff together here. Not going all the way down. It's probably 25 feet here. I'm going probably 15 to 18 feet. Smaller one, but sheepshead nonetheless. Targeted species number 3. Young buck. Sorry, buddy. Good looking fish. I got these jigs at BRM Corks. I think they're local made. I got them out of Master Bait and Tackle. They're in Bellefontaine area. Actually went down there looking for shrimp this morning, and all he had was some. Oh, I think he took it. Oh, I think he took it. He did. All they had was fiddler crabs, which honestly is probably the ideal bait for sheepshead. But he had these jig heads, and it's always good to have the spares. Typically you use the birds of prey when I'm sheepshead fishing. Just awkward, see? Awkward angles. Oh, it's a good one. Oh, it's a good one. Whew. All right. Oh, that's a monster. A monster. This fella is gigantic. So that's 18 inches right there. He's probably kicking over another 2 to 3 inches. So I would say 20 to 21. Let's see if I can keep him in the boat though. All right, we got a good box. Listen, I am not greedy. I'm just gonna probably stick one more fiddler crab in the water here. And see if I can get another bite. And if not, then we're gonna head back in. It's an amazing day so far. And as I mentioned before, it's 10:10, so in and out really quickly. It seems that these points are kind of where these fish are gravitating to today. One thing about fishing is you can have old reliable spots that any given day could be unreliable.